r/entitled parents. Entitled bride finds out her kid isn't a superhero. Entitled kid finds out the hard way that a band's stage area at a wedding isn't a playground. Posted by u/d4n0123. So I'm 38M, UK, a musician in a wedding band, and as such, you expect the odd bridezilla now and again. But this particular occasion managed to be a lovely crossover between entitled parent and entitled bride. Hold on to your butts. So basically, I don't know what weddings are like in other parts of the world, but here in the UK at about 8 PM everybody makes their way into the main hall and takes a seat for the bride and groom to enter afterwards and begin the first dance. I'd had a few email conversations back and forth with the bride before the night and she seemed perfectly amicable. I spoke to her in person at about 7:30 after we, the band, were all set up and good to go. She seemed a bit stuck up, but normally I just put it down to them being a little nervous, too busy, or in some cases too drunk to care. Stuck up how? Well, I introduced myself, extended my hand to hers to shake it, and she basically ignored it and went back to talking to one of her bridesmaids. I waited for a gap in their conversation and said, "Hi, bride. Just to let you know that's us, good to go for the first dance at 8, looking forward to it." Bride then turned around to me and said, "Hey, can you not see I'm busy? Just away and do your job, that's what I've paid you for." Alright, so she's a bitch. That's fine, I've dealt with horrible brides before. Couldn't spy the groom anywhere, so I did exactly what she said and buggered off for a while. So 8 PM rolls around, we're on the stage waiting for everyone to pile into the room. About 10 minutes later we get the thumbs up from the wedding coordinator to announce them into the room. I announce them in "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto the dance floor for their first dance as husband and wife, Mr. and Mrs. blah blah blah." Everyone's clapping, they walk in, but bride looks fuming. She marches right up to me and says, "I wanted you to announce us as the blah blahs." So I smiled, apologized, and tried not to let it bother me, saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, give them a big round of applause as they take to the dance floor, the blah blahs." "Yeah, that's better, fuck sake," bride says, stomping onto the dance floor. So by now you've got a decent idea of what kind of person I'm dealing with here. Very rude, a control freak. I've met brides before who are control freaks, but 99% of the time they are still lovely, and doesn't suffer fools apparently. So, we get stuck into the first dance, Perfect by Ed Sheeran, so original. There are videographers, photographers and about 70 or 80 guests there, so as you can imagine, for most wedding bands, the first dance is the main part of the night that you simply have to get right. It's pretty stressful, but as long as you're confident and know the song, you're golden. That is, unless bride's snot-nosed infant decides it's time to enter your life. This kid appears out of nowhere and starts running around the bride and groom. He's about just above knee height, so I dunno, maybe 3 years old. For some reason he's carrying some sort of stick with a ball on the end of it, kind of like a wizard's wand. They're laughing, everyone thinks it's funny and cute, haha great. Then the kid decides it would be a great idea to abandon them both, and while we're performing the most important song of the evening, he runs up to the drum kit and starts absolutely smashing the cymbals while my drummer is trying to play the fucking song. Now, cymbals, and most musical equipment, are very expensive and they don't appreciate being hammered by things that aren't drumsticks. This is literally property damage, but what the hell, it's nothing we haven't dealt with before. For some reason people assume that bands are totally cool with having their equipment played with and damaged, despite the fact that it's our primary source of income. Anyway, I'm just singing away, trying to ignore it and assuming that anyone will come and collect the kid. An auntie, an uncle, a grandparent. Nope. That would be the logical thing to do, so nope. I'm trying to sing this song, just at the second chorus, and all you can hear is this ting 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 smash smash smash. My drummer stops playing for a couple of bars to politely gesture to entitled kid, EK, to move away. EK stops for a few seconds, so I think okay, good. So we're almost at the end of the song, and the kid is running back and forth from my side of the stage area to the other. There are cables all over this area, and speaker stands which, with enough force, could be knocked over if tripped into. Not only that, but the drum kit itself. Bride seems oblivious to the fact that her son could be about to get his ear sliced off by a cymbal. Yes, they are surprisingly sharp-edged. Who'd have known? You see where I'm going. We finish the song. We made it. Bride doesn't applaud, groom seems happy enough though. The kid goes away for a while and I'm amazed that nobody in the room thought it would be a good idea just to hold him until at least the first dance was over. So we kick off the night. Halfway through literally the second song of the evening, I have to stop the song halfway through because EK keeps throwing a balloon and it keeps either going straight at my face or into my stage area. Pedals, more cables, mic stand, cymbals, not much space, basically dangerous for a kid. So I just say to the kid, try and keep the balloon away from where we are please buddy, and I smile at him. EK looks confused for a second and then takes the balloon and goes away. We keep playing. Boom. 2 minutes later Bride walks up and stops the next song, demanding to speak to me, holding her EK. Who is now crying. Bride, did you tell my son he can't play? What? No, I only asked that he tries to stay away from our stage area. As you can see it's quite dangerous. Bride, he can play where he wants, you've made him cry. I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to upset him, I was just saying we don't want him to get hurt. The drum kit can be quite dangerous, and he could trip over some. Bride, he's perfectly capable of looking after himself, you know, this is my wedding. You're right, we just don't want him to end up being injured, so would you mind just keeping him away from where we're playing? Bride says nothing, looking like I've just taken a shit on her carpet, and walks away with the kid still crying, holding his balloon. Prick. Alright, so I feel at this point like I've done enough to warn her about the dangers of letting EK near all our equipment. I realize I'm really dragging this out now, so here's the kicker. About 2 hours later, EK has still been hovering around the stage annoying me. I've been forced to guide him away from several dangerous positions. EK is running around the dance floor. The dance floor isn't really far away from the band, something I hate about that particular venue. The stage area is tiny compared to the dance floor, and the kid is running like crazy. He slips. He puts a hand out. He slices his fucking finger on a cymbal. There's blood on the dance floor, which I didn't notice until my guitar player stopped playing with a horrified expression. The kid's screaming, Bride is nowhere to be seen. I stop the song, I take my bass off and have a look. The kid's index finger is like, hanging off. It was minging. You can actually see the bone. So a guest finally comes up while another one runs to get Bride. I'm freaking out, telling my drummer to phone an ambulance. I know it sounds absolutely stupid now, but I was genuinely panicking, thinking, oh my god, this kid is gonna fucking die or something, lol. I can laugh about it now, but at the time I was freaking. Bride comes in, announces her presence with an ear-splitting shriek, picks up the kid and instead of carrying him elsewhere, stands there and screams at me, this is your fault, look what you've done, look what you've done to my boy. Hotel doctor comes down, ambulance comes to take the kid to hospital shortly after. Bride and groom leave with the kid. Needless to say, we packed up all our stuff, drummer had to disinfect cymbal later, and left. We didn't get paid obviously, and Bride left us a review which was genuinely full of so many expletives and untruths that I could barely read it. Basically she tried to imply that I was being horrible and bullying her kid all night. So, moral of the story is, if you're going to bring kids to a wedding, make sure you can either A, control them, B, get someone else to look after them, or C, don't act like your kid is a fucking superhero who can't do any wrong and can withstand the sharp edges of a cymbal. This was all about 2 years ago. Thankfully nothing like that has happened since, but the amount of parents who just let their kids do whatever the fuck they want at weddings amazes me. TLDR, Bride at a wedding thinks it's okay that her young son wants to treat the band's stage area like a playground. Son eventually finds out the hard way, getting half of a finger cut off on a cymbal, that he ain't Superbrat. Edit, thank you for my first gold. Just to answer a couple of questions, when I say we didn't get paid, we still kept the deposit, which is half the fee, and our agent eventually, after about 2 months of back and forth with the bride in which he finally threatened to sue her, she coughed up the rest of the cash. Apologies, I should have made it clear that we didn't get paid on the night, but we did months later. Also yes, these days we take payment no less than a month in advance of each wedding. You live and learn. Some are asking how the hell this could have happened, as cymbals are generally not that sharp. I absolutely agree. Apologies if I've made them sound like the deadliest weapons on earth, but I'm pretty sure for a child, anything can be a deadly weapon, against itself. I don't mean they are gonna go all John Wick. It was a freak accident. I wish I could have actually seen it happen so I could tell you more, but the whole night is a pretty horrific, long-lasting memory in my mind. So I understand why people think this is fake, but my memory of the kid's finger hanging off speaks for itself. I've even got a couple of lovely DMs saying I should make it believable next time and whatnot. Yes, because I'm so starved of attention I make up a story about a small child almost losing his finger. Jesus. Is that what people usually do on Reddit? Facepalm. And for all the people saying I should have taken them to court, my agent eventually threatened to until they coughed up the full payment for the night. This is the advantage of working for an agency. Yeah, they take a cut of your earnings, but they'll back you up in these situations and deal with all the ugly paperwork. Thank you for listening, my children. Please leave a like and subscribe and ring my bell sack to stay updated with my videos as they come out. Love you, bye.